and welcome everyone to a Tuesday of racing at Grants Pass Downs, day number 14 as we get set to wrap up our penultimate week of racing here at the track. Supposed to be another beautiful afternoon for racing. We have been so blessed, knock on wood, with amazing weather throughout this fall meet, and today should be no exception. Temperature predicted to be around 71 degrees at first post time. Getting a little bit chillier. I got to wear my vest for the last couple, but very excited for this 9-race card, and let's dig into it a little bit. We start out, of course, our early pick 4 begins in race 1, and we begin at 6.5 furlongs. These are $2,000 condition claimers, either non-winners of 2 since May 3rd, so non-winners of 2 in 6 months, or which have never won 4 races. The number 1, Zakharoff. Quinn Howie's been having an amazing meet here, really having an amazing year at Grants Pass Downs, and this is one of those horses that seems to always get bet and just doesn't seem to finish the job. I would not be surprised at all if he wins, but I just seem to want to head in other directions than horses kind of like this. The horse that I kind of thought was interesting was the Jesse Velasquez runner, the number 4, Eddie and the King. This horse, Jesse's barn has been fantastic. He's only shipped a couple down here to Grants Pass. He had a second place and then one that didn't finish because of a spill. But the horse has a little bit of tactical speed, and I think just kind of fits down here based on that and by how well his trainer has done. The horse did run at Grants Pass last fall and scored a victory in kind of a similar condition race, a non-winners of the year $2,000 race. So look for that one to make a little bit of a dent in things. The number 5, One Tough Minister, I think the distance is just kind of a problem. This is a horse that can put in a pretty decent closing kick, but has been going a mile and a 16th and a mile and stuff like that, and still is fairly far off the pace. So going 6.5, I just don't know if he's going to be able to be closer, and if he is, if he'll have that same punch late. I did want to mention also the number 7, Indy's Outlaw. Just been very consistent this summer at Arapahoe, Sweetwater Downs, and then here at Grants Pass last time out. Just missed in a race that kind of fell apart a little bit, and so it did play to off the pace types. So, maybe that one is a little bit of a go-against from that. I like the 4 the most. The 6, Shaka Zulu, I thought was a little bit of a throw out here, just because the horse won was a non-winner of 2 of the year, similar to this level, 2 starts back, but last time they tried a little bit tougher competition and just wasn't even close. A rebound of that 1-2 back makes it a contender, but outside of that race, the horse really hasn't done a whole lot. So the second race on the card, quarter horse events. These are maidens. The 2 inside runners come out of the same race, and it's the Mr. Alley Cat race. Mr. Alley Cat came back to run last week. Ran okay. I think he ran 4th, but it was his first time against winners. He was a deserving favorite and deserving winner of that race back on October 20th that Our Majesty's Diva and Queen of RS both come out of. I liked Queen of RS last time out, but was drawn outside last time. This time draws down in the 2 post, and Our Majesty's Diva drawing the 1 hole, so I kind of wanted to look somewhere else, and thought maybe a price could come from the number 3, GC Mini Sneak, who ran okay on debut, but I thought for just being a debut, it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty decent race. The Fast Moving Freight, of course, came right back to win, and so I thought that horse was an interesting long shot. I think just watch him on the outside makes a little sense. It's been competing a lot against trial and stakes type horses in really throughout the horse's career. I think just missed at this same level last time out. Certainly will appreciate it, but is going to be a short price on the board. Third race is, again, maiden quarter horses, 2-year-olds, and I thought Lion Eyes down on the rail had a pretty good debut, breaking mid-pack, and they kind of came together at the start in that one, and I don't know, I just thought maybe an interesting horse at a price. This wasn't a race where I loved the favorites. I thought there was a couple different ways to go that were price horses, but I kind of like the 6, Treinta Coronas, who Treinta Coronas just didn't do any running in that the first 4 starts of his career. And then last time they added the blinkers and just seemed to really wake up, had kind of a good effort from down at the inside post. I thought this is another one who, with the blinkers on again, could be pretty dangerous here at a little bit of a price. So the 4th race on the card, it's a $10,000 claiming event, and I thought this was one of the more interesting races of the card. Chief's Little Pearl has been one of the just fantastic racehorses we've had here this meet and really throughout the year. The horse just loves Grants Pass, 6 for 9 career. Last time I thought the 6.5 furlongs was kind of the question mark about this one, and in the last couple jumps it kind of proved to be that. Just was able to hold on. Florista, who was rolling down the outside, missed by literally a nostril. And so Chief's Little Pearl shortening up to 5.5 I think should make a pretty big difference for this one. But there is other speed in here. It's a field of 8 runners. Emma's Beast, the number 6 horse, should be fairly quick early. Timberlake Gauge returns in here. Claimed earlier in the summer. This horse was a great winner, or a good winner here at Grants Pass in the spring. Went to Emerald, got claimed away from trainer Jorge Rosales. He claimed the horse back a couple of starts ago and won right back off the claim at Emerald Downs for $2,500. This is obviously a jump in price, but this is a horse that loves Grants Pass Downs, figures to be forwardly placed. As I mentioned, there is a fair bit of speed, so if anybody's going to give Chiefs Little Pearl some grief, there's a few other ones to do it. The number 1 Thanks came closing after Chiefs Little Pearl, going 5.5, the same distance in this horse's last start. So maybe a major player if somebody does press Chiefs Little Pearl. If Chiefs Little Pearl is able to get out alone, things could be very, very tough for the rest of the competition. I should mention Chase the Music, who was the stakes winner 2 starts back, and just kind of didn't fire last time, was up close and then really faded off the scene. So curious to see if this one can turn around. Oddly enough, this horse is, or at least has been, a little bit of an every other type. 2 starts back, 1 before that got off to a real slow start, made a good move but still ran second, 1 another start before that. So if it is that continued cycle, then Chase the Music should be back running a good race in this one. Maiden Claimers, $10,000 Oregon Breds. Of course, Oregon Championship Day on Monday, but good to see the Oregon Breds still going strong on this Tuesday card. The number 2, My Girl Coco, has really woken up in the last couple of starts since having a little bit of a break and going up to Emerald Downs. I mean, this is a horse that was getting beaten by 20, 34, 48 lengths in every start, and then all of a sudden started just really turned it around after showing more speed 2 starts back. Last start ran a pretty good third against these maiden claimer types. It's been a nice turnaround for this one, who sometimes the light bulb just goes off with these horses, and maybe this is one of those. Charlie Essex has a firster in here, Jody on the Run, who I think will take a little bit of money. Charlie's decent with first-time starters, but a high percentage barn in general. That horse breaking from post number 5, and I thought it was noteworthy the number 9 Ruby Ice took some money last time out. On debut, was bet down to 7-2 for Gilbert Daniels. Gilbert's barn been having a very strong year at 20%. Limited starters, but still 20% is 20%. And if this one can live up to that billing, or at least the backing from the first start, maybe one that's set to improve in here. In what's kind of a tricky little race. It's Oregon bred maidens, so there's it doesn't take a big jump of improvement for one of the other horses who maybe is going to be a long shot to move forward and be a contender in here. 6th race on the card does begin at the $1 late pick 4. This Fillies and Mares, which have not won a race in 6 months. Miss Gunny down to the inside has been close, has been at this level the last couple of starts and a couple of second place finishes. So certainly a logical type, but we'll have to take a little bit of a step forward. I really liked My Light Night in here. This horse hasn't done much running in the last couple of starts, but those were against way better competition. Open 4,000, and last time not one or 3 allowance horses like Chiefs Little Pearl, Barbello, Extra Fine Xtina, the horses you see in this horse's running line, and there's just nothing like that in this race. And so, are we going to get 10-1? Maybe not. Probably not. I would say maybe 7 or 8 to 1 or 6 to 1, but even at that price, I still kind of like the horse. Sterling Alley, certainly a deserving favorite in here, was just beaten a neck in a 3,200 race last time, first off the layoff. So if that one runs to its best capability, certainly a live horse. I should mention the PPs. You see this horse has run only 3 starts at Grants Pass Downs, but last summer was running at GPR, not GRP. That's Grand Prairie. It's way up in, it's north of Edmonton in Alberta, so way up there. They run in the summer. Supposed to be kind of a neat place, though. 7th race on our card. It's a 3,200 non-winner of 3 Lifetime, and saw Colt 57's name in here down toward the inside at post 2. I thought first time against non-winner 3 last time, ran pretty decently, just kind of got outgunned by Mystic Wood Force and was then able to come back and catch that one. I had the lead early and then lost it going into that turn. I have to think that this is a horse that's come from off the pace before, but I think this horse might be a little tougher, especially with that inside draw, to try to go after the early lead, because as I scan through here, there's not a ton of speed. There's a lot of kind of stalker types, and if Colt 57 takes advantage of that inside post, it could certainly be tough. There is a Golden Gate shipper in here, the number 6 Cat's Out Tonight for Cindy Winchell. This horse had run at Grants Pass in the summer meet and ran 2 bang-up races, a second against Allowance Company and won the non-2. They went back down to Northern California, and the waters are a little bit deeper down there, and so I think the relief here in class to Grants Pass is going to make a big difference for Cats Out tonight. And then Spider Rico made local debut last time and got claimed by Dan Kinney, and kind of ran an even race at not that short of price, but AZ Rules, as we talked about yesterday, won for 4,000, jumped all the way up to allowance last time and ran a pretty good third. So AZ Rules, I would say for a $4,000 race between Mr. Takahashi, Megatron Ruler, and AZ Rules, that was a pretty salty group. So this is definite class relief here. I think 7 Spider Rico, a major player in that 7th race. The 8th race is our Sprint Series Final, the Lucky.com Sprint Series Final, and this is a fun one, man. I thought there was, of course, a lot of these horses coming out of similar races, right? And Ladies Man, who won last time, I thought had a pretty good trip that time. 2 starts back behind BS Cyclotron. BS Cyclotron came back to run a really good second last week here at Grants Pass. So Ladies Man maybe coming out of the liver of the 2 divisions of these races. Beat Cape's Hot Rocket, who was loose in the lead, who's drawn right to this one's outside. I mean, it's a sprint series race, so there's supposed to be a lot of speed, right? And there is. I mean, Bullet Express, I thought had it kind of easy up front last time out. Bonzi Noesti, I don't know that Bonzi Noesti is capable of winning against this class of group. He did beat some of these horses 3 starts back, but it seems like there's a few better ones in here, and just if he's a short price, I might steer away. If he run that race, he ran 3 back, was really, really great. But to me, he's just always the kind of horse that seems to hit the board a lot and not necessarily break through and win. Did want to mention Could Be the One, who Ashley Garcia had for the first race in the series. It got claimed, came back. The horse ran 3rd, and she claimed back. So she clearly likes the horse. Paid an extra $1,300 to get the horse back, and has it here for the finals. But it's a $15,000 pot, right? You win the race, or even run second, and that $1,300 is right off the books, and any debts vanished. So really excited for the Sprint Series race. Like I said, I thought you could make a case for a bunch of them, and they're certainly a spread race for a lot of people. I always say if a race looks like a spread race on paper, that's where you want to be a little more narrow, because everybody else is trying to spread and hit, and if you can hit and get through that leg pretty narrow, now you have the ability to spread later on where everybody else maybe has to go a little bit more narrow. We do have a heavy favorite in the 9th and final race, Bernadette, 3-2 on the morning line. At this same level, was second last time behind Ramona Lover. Ramona Lover runs on Monday. We're recording this on Sunday, so keep an eye on Ramona Lover, because Ramona Lover kind of got loose and just was unable to get caught. So Bernadette, I thought, ran a pretty good race behind what could be a pretty decent horse for this level, and probably a deserving favorite in here. I didn't see a ton in here that I liked. I will mention Wild Chick, who the number 7 horse, who broke the maiden last time out against State Breds at a short price. Now, these horses coming up against winners, it's always a little bit scary, but every once in a while, like I said, that light bulb will go on. They'll realize, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be winning the race. And once in a while, you'll see a horse takes a little while to break the maiden, they break it, and then they go right through their non-2 condition. Not saying that will happen here, but wouldn't surprise me if at a big price this one runs decently. The number 8, She Said She's Perfect, been very consistent at the non-2 level. They jump up to the allowance here. It's obviously Bernadette's going to be pretty tough, but it's a smallish field, and I thought you could certainly make a case for this one to run the money. So just a quick look at our Tuesday card. We hope to see you back today, but also next week, is closing week coming up next week on the 9th and 10th. We really appreciate everybody who's been joining us throughout this season at Grants Pass Downs. Still got 3 days of racing left. Best of luck.